lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255. or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's the Old School live from Cedars 6601 Pioneers Boulevard. I'm Austin Norman. To my right, Mike Melby. To his right, the coach Kenny Wilhite. And meandering his way up here to the stage eventually at some point will be Jay Foreman. This is Give to Lincoln Day. We've been out at Cedars all day. We're here for the next 2 hours as well. We got out here at 6 this morning. Well, I say we. The royal we. I was not out here at 6. Jake Sorensen, standing across from me, was SIP coach Bill Bush. We're here. It's been a great day of shows here at Cedars. Thank you, Lincoln community, for your support of Cedars. Thank you for your generosity. Let's keep it rolling. We're out here for 2 more hours. Give to Lincoln Day goes all day. GiveToLincoln.com is the best way that you can give. Search Cedars online, do that. Or if you're in the area, again, 66th and Pioneer, stop by, say hi. Drop a donation in the box. Tell us your name. We'll give you a handshake. We'll give you a high five, give you knuckles, whatever it is. We appreciate you. We appreciate your partnership with Cedars here in Lincoln. Old School brought to you by the Mercado Certified Piedmontese. As Jay Foreman likes to say, every type of meat, every type of cut. With that, Old School.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing well. How about you?
I'm hanging in there.
Trying
to be as cool as you guys.
Exactly. But, hey, Strickland, what are you doing, bro?
That summer sexy's out the door.
That summer sexy's over with.
Cedars burger.
It's what?
Cedars burger.
Cedars burger.
Right here. Easily influenced.
Easily influenced.
Yeah. But it's
He's a man of the people, socially.
Yes, he is. Only one? Okay. All right.
He had one inside before he came out with that one. You know it.
He has the inside and outside burger.
He has the inside and outside burger.
Probably had the double on the inside.
Yeah.
About to single out, huh? No.
Yeah, but it's a.
Huh?
You ain't supposed to tell all the secrets, man.
I don't. That's not a secret.
Yeah, but it's all good, man. You know, I've been listening all day when I could. Sounds like everything went good or great, like it should. You know, first and foremost, I want to thank all the people that are on air for 10 hours. So we're just pulling up there. We're just trying not to mess up the flow. We got to end on a good note. So you obviously want to thank Cedars for everything they do and will continue to do. And I'm sure we'll have some people on talk about their additions that they're having on. But you know, there's sports to be talked about, life, and everything else.
But speaking of that, did you bring your wallet?
For what?
What do you mean?
Hey, we got to shout out Kenny right before the show. No, hey, we're doing this. It's
No.
not about you.
No.
It's about appreciating you.
I've been known to be El Frugal, but I'm gonna throw something in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
Well, all you had to do was ask me if I was
No,
going to
I
donate.
just asked if you brought
I
your wallet.
generally don't travel with my wallet though. I don't carry a wallet. See, there's a thing that I learned very early, Kenny, when I got to the league.
Oh, I learned it too.
Okay.
Oh, I trust
And that
you.
was back when I don't even know if I might have had. I think I had one credit card. My financial advisor got me a credit card. That mainly so he could cut me off if I was doing too much, right? Because I was in Buffalo. They were like, hey, you know that Niagara Falls when you was up there at the casino?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Your budget is cut for the next 3 weeks. But thing I learned, when you have a wallet and when you always had cash,
Yep.
when people ask for money and they see your wallet, you couldn't really say no.
Mm-hmm.
So then I just started emptying out my wallet and just say, I ain't got nothing when you open it. So I don't ever carry a wallet. And that's been 97, 98.
I stopped carrying cash at 95. 95.
Yeah.
'Cause every time I walked up, everybody had their hands out.
Right.
If you want to be like Jay and Kenny, want to get rid of your cash, there's a
But I
wonderful
did.
donation box right in front of us here at Cedars.
I made a
67
point.
Pioneers.
I made a point to stop to get cash.
Right.
Drop it in that box.
Right. Yeah.
So
I mean,
that's why I asked if you brought your wallet, bro.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
everything taken care of, man.
Okay.
You know that. I always step up to the plate.
I know you do.
You know that.
I met you at the turkey giveaway.
That's right. You know, the funny story is, former foundation, we always do a turkey drive, and I think it might have been during COVID, right?
Yes,
yeah, it was
it
during
was.
COVID, so we weren't able to do it where we usually do it. And it'd be great if we could do something here with Cedars, but
Yes.
so it was downtown at a church.
At a church.
And man, I had like 4 SUVs or whatever, and you know it's stressful when the great thing is you're doing great stuff.
Doing great stuff.
The stressful stuff is going to get it.
Yes.
Making sure everybody says they're going to help you unload it, and then make sure where it's unloaded at that they got that the process can be done. And man, I'm out there taking off boxes of turkeys. Turn around, I see Kenny. Kenny come down there and from the stadium and do his good duty. So it's always being able to give and support good organizations on Lincoln Give Day, like Cedars, but all of them is definitely appreciated and goes into the right hands.
How big was Coach Osborne on being involved in the community with service and getting to know Lincoln, the town and the people?
That was the best thing that happened to me was about
right.
Because again, I was very, very shy. That's why I said you guys got me totally out of my box. I'm not shy, but I don't like being out front. So me doing this is totally out of my box.
Right.
When I got here, I was so shy. But Dennis and Keith, right?
Yeah.
And life skills and academics helped me along, but took us out into the community to speak at high school, speak at junior highs, read to kids, you know what I mean? Get you out in the community so you're able to do things like that, but it also helps you in the long run later on in life.
Yeah, Coach Osborne was always good. I mean, I don't think there was anything directly like with me personally, but the one thing I always kind of took note of was Coach Osborne. You'd hear the stories of, he would be at it's Hy-Vee now, but whatever grocery store, and if somebody came and spoke to him, he would talk to him, right? And so, to him, that's a form of giving back, right? So obviously they're going to ask him football questions.
Yeah.
So he's giving back his knowledge and stuff, and he's giving back to the fans from the experience and just the way he moved and just the way that Nebraska kind of did things, did it. But like Kenny, I used to have a fear of public speaking.
Yep.
I did. And I remember, and then, I got here, you had to do some stuff for life skills. But then, did my first speech, kind of after football, I got up there and got dry mouth, man, and it was in there squeaking. Really, to be honest with you, when you start squeaking and you're nervous, you could drink 5 gallons of water and it ain't going to help you.
It doesn't help.
But from there, one thing Coach Osborne was telling me is like when you have a situation that you want to get better at, right? Whether it's football, basketball, and obviously getting better at certain things that he would tell us or tell me that I had to get better at, you got to continue to put yourself in that arena to do well. And then obviously being on the radio and having some sort of influence and being able to, hopefully bring people, to Cedars here physically, but then also online to donate on Give Lincoln Day is just part of the deal. And to be honest with you, we're fortunate enough that when we played at Nebraska, obviously we were pretty successful. So it comes with it. It comes with the territory.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a big influence was also probably on that is my dad. In Minnesota, he's revered. He's in the Ring of Fame, or and pretty much the Vikings Hall of Fame. So hopefully he's on his way to the Canton, Ohio, to the Hall of Fame. And anytime that we'd be out, eating or whatever, his big thing was, don't interrupt my family time. But he took time. He made sure everybody was taken care of as far as autographs or pictures. And back then it was Polaroids.
Or disposable cameras.
Right.
Yeah.
And he told me about it. And I asked him, like, why are you always taking pictures? Because, if we went somewhere, we were supposed to be there from 7 to 7:30. We ain't leaving at 8:15 because he's doing his thing. But he said, look, man, it's a privilege for somebody to want to have your autograph or take your picture. Very easily, you could play this game of football and not have any influence. And he's like, obviously, I've hopefully had some sort of influence on them outside of it. So
I want to ask you, Jay, you've talked about the first time you ever got up, you get a little dry mouth and start squeaking and stuff.
It was a lot. I was about 28. I sound like I was 13.
Out of all the times that you spoke, where were you influenced the most by what you saw, and how did it affect you moving forward?
Yeah, when I was in Houston, and obviously coming from Nebraska, then going to Buffalo, we were out in the community. But once the season was over, we always talked about 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Look, when we didn't make the playoffs, brothers was literally pulling up with U-Haul, so we was out of there. So when I was in Houston and I started to kind of ascend as a player, I really dived into the community and I started a program called Foreman Friends. And so what it was for disadvantaged youth, kind of like a little bit like Cedars, where they had a whole campus, right? And people from different backgrounds, family, situations. And they had to earn the right to do whatever. We'd go bowling, we'd go fishing, we'd do this and that. But when I first got there and met everybody there and spoke to them about what my vision was, and then taking me around and seeing some of these kids and talking to them, obviously, was probably the most influential thing because, in Houston, I always say, boy, it's hot as Hades in training camp, right? I always say that Dom Capers was always trying to bring us to the brink of destruction. But then I'd always think about some of the kids that I came across. One situation that really stuck to my mind was they had to hit certain check marks in behavior and grades. Then I would, then all of them and their chaperones, we had a section of for the tickets to the game. And then they were going to talk about Foreman Friends and all that. So I was, I'm here in a heated game. We were playing Tennessee Titans, our rivals. Eddie George over it. I hate Eddie George, you know what I mean? But I was more excited to see him up there. Well, there's one particular kid where he had a family situation that he had to be removed, where he couldn't be on social media, or not social media. He couldn't be in the picture, right? And so it was delayed. So and I asked afterwards because I got to see him after the game, and they explained it to me. And I was just thinking, like, you know what, like for somebody like that to be inspired just to go to a Houston Texans game, right? By no means we were in Nebraska in 94, 95, 97 at that point in time. And to create his own path is pretty special. And the funny thing about it, I was when I was first started doing TV and radio, I was going down and doing it in Houston all the time, and I was doing a pregame kind of like tailgate thing. And he came out, and young man came up to me, and he was like, "You Jay Foreman?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm starting to think like, probably gonna tell me like you was garbage, right? He was like, "You don't remember me." He's like, "But I was one of the first groups of part of Foreman Friends, and by your program, it helped him." He said at that time, he was just having a second kid, and he's got a job. The first person in his family, or nuclear family, to go to college and graduate college. Now, was it directly because of me? It's probably no, it was indirectly, but with the help of the former fan being created. So that was the most important thing. That always kind of stuck in the back of my mind.
Kenny, same thing to you. You're on the road recruiting. Do you ever have any experiences that stick out to you for, kids in a situation like that?
Well, I think I told somebody this story, but I was recruiting in East Texas. And there's a lot of talent that comes out of East Texas. But I'm going down driving and I'm looking and the kid told me his address for a home visit. So I'm driving, I pull up, I'm like, there's no way nobody living. Sure, some man walked out and I said, hey, is so-and-so home? He goes, no, I'm his uncle. He's at work, but I'll tell you where he works. Well, he forgot he had to work. So the home visit had to take place where he was working at.
Yeah.
But it was a trailer, a couple of boards on the window, standing on cinder blocks. And I'm like, oh my God. You know what I mean? So I'm saying I'm blessed. I got it. I got it good. This young man is struggling from this. Now, he signed with us. He played well for us at Central Arkansas. He got his college degree. Now he's high school coach.
Right.
So,
awesome.
But just to see somebody living in that condition.
Right.
That to me says kind of what Cedars has been doing too, about there's potential in every kid. They just need a chance. They need someone to identify their talent and come alongside them to say, hey, there's something in you. Let's work on it. Let's develop it. I'm here for you. It's not just the education, in football, which I know goes a long way, but it's having that relationship and that confidence in the ability to confide in someone to come alongside them, I think goes a long way.
Yeah. Look, everybody needs somebody or more than one person to kind of help them along. Nobody's ever been successful in life without a partner or a mentor or somebody like that to kind of push them along. And whether it's sports or business, you're always on that kind of, I would say it's that gray area, right? And we have talked about this with Nebraska all the time. When you first take off in a plane, and if it's obviously a spring, it's always going to be cloudy. You could be bumpy a little bit. Then you kind of get in the clouds and it's kind of gray and there's no, the pilot doesn't get on and say, oh, we're going to be through the clouds in 35 seconds. He's just rolling through there, right? So everybody's in like anticipation, but it could be bumpy. You could sway a little bit, but if you just kind of hold tight and kind of, kind of come together and band together, then eventually you get above the clouds and you're like, man, the sun's out up here. So, the analogy is that everybody needs, a helping hand or just somebody to walk in that path with them. And, Cedars does a great job, and it takes a lot of fortitude to have this sort of idea, right? To start, right? And I think it's how many years?
75 years.
So 75 years ago to have I always call it forward thinking and maybe projection of what could be an asset moving forward. You got to think when you're thinking 75 years ago, you're maybe looking at what's the population in Lincoln right now, what's the expansion of Lincoln, what potentially could be Lincoln, and then what are the kind of the ramifications or who could really be assisted by this. And then say you go through the first 25 years, then you might have to pivot in the middle 25 and then the last 25. So it's always I think everybody looks at where you're at today, right? 75 years been running, but you got to think about the other years as well as to get to the 75.
Well, in the forward thinking, they're going to build a carriage house for young mothers.
Yes.
They're going to build an indoor gymnasium. That stuff, the construction costs, they're through the roof, man.
Right.
Yes.
And that's what a lot of the money is going to go to. I know I got a tour out back, and it's fantastic. It's going to the impact that it's going to have in the Lincoln community is going to be absolutely amazing.
Right. Yeah. Look, it's anything like young mothers and the way that the society is going, there's always a need, there's going to be a need for that. They need their support, and they got the hardest job in the world, right? And it gets even harder, with the way that the world is going right now. So again, have that forward thinking, have the, wherewithal and the mindset to say, okay, let's keep doing what we're doing, which is really great, but let's see if we can add to it and do some great things as well. I mean, it's pretty special. And, like I said, Give to Lincoln Day is a great day. And Cedars, among the other charities, do a really good job. But obviously today we're here at Cedars and just, driving by and seeing the support of people honking. Obviously it's a great setup here. And, the support that they're getting, obviously, is the reason why they had a great day today.
Mike, you mentioned the carriage house, finding that gap to fill in. As athletes, you have your season, then in the off season, that's when you add something. How do I stay good at what I'm good at? How do I add another layer to my game? How do I improve? Well, here's the thing. There's no off season for these kids, plain and simple. This is a day-to-day thing for them. And that's why the 75 years of Cedars, the day-to-day consistency of the staff, the people here at Cedars being in these young people's lives is so important, because their issues don't take a break. They don't just disappear, for hours at a time, then come back to them at some point. No, this is their life. This is their reality. And that's why, Cedars and your donation to Cedars helps them be there for kids 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, I think, like you said, there's no off season, but then also there's that should be inspiring, and for them to say there's no days off. I don't think it's a bad thing that they don't have an off season. I think it's good that they have an on season, because everybody here wants just a fighting chance, an even playing field. From an athlete's perspective, when you come to college, or in this case, somebody comes to Cedars, you want an even playing field of somebody that's at, I don't know, Pius or whatever, and then let's see where we can get at, and finish. And so I think it's, really good. And, I think there's a lot of things that are portable back and forth, and, hopefully we can continue the relationship.
Absolutely. That's the key thing, is trying to make a difference in people's lives. We're out here at Cedars, 6601 Pioneers, Cedars Home for Children, and it's Austin Norman. I'm Mike Melby, Kenny Wilhite, Jay Foreman. I'm probably going to step out. We'll hand the headset to somebody else. And
coming up after the break, the Cedars CEO and president, Jim Blue. I see him right over there. He's ready. He's chomping at the bit, ready to talk. We'll have Jim on for a few minutes here to talk about his role at Cedars, what he's enjoyed about it. Again, Jim's been around with Cedars forever. So we'll step aside for just a second, have Cedars CEO and president Jim Blue join us on site here on Old School.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Generation V.
Start summer off right with the Midwest's favorite for Vapor, Delta, and much more during the Generation V summer sale. Starts Memorial Weekend.
Generation V.
Save up to 50% off during the Generation V summer sale. Get a free bottle of Nick salts when you buy a pod system. Get 20% off all Honey Root Delta products and much more.
Generation V.
Now with 4 Lincoln locations. Stop in Memorial Weekend to take advantage of the Generation V summer sale.
E6 contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Hey, CNC machinists, do you feel like you're in a dead-end job with your boss hovering over your shoulder? That's so annoying. Not at Garner Industries. We provide the opportunity and trust our CNC machinists to bring the talent. I'm Bob Williams, HR Director at Garner Industries, and we're looking for new team members in our CNC department. At Garner Industries, you'll work in a clean, climate-controlled, and safe environment with team members who want to see you succeed. You will also enjoy 4-day work weeks, great benefits, and a positive working culture. Interested? Apply on our career page at garnerindustries.com.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
This is Amara Smith-Spates from Nebraska Bowling. Some kids wish for a family dog. Others wish for a family. Last month, over 100 kids needed a foster family and home. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day on Wednesday, May 24th, your gift goes even further. Go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln's kids today.
Shopping for insurance can be a frustrating and tedious task. Brokers Insurance Agency in Lincoln has a full staff of licensed professional agents who will do the work all for you. Brokers utilizes over 20 insurance companies to save their clients money. Brokers Insurance Agency will always do what is in the client's best interest and will find the best program to fit your needs. Call Brokers Insurance Agency today at 402-420-5353 to get a quote today, or find us online at brokersinsurancene.com.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere sprayer from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See & Spray to target weeds in season in corn and soybeans and use less herbicide per acre. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Dive into good times and great savings when you take advantage of the above-ground swimming pool sale happening now at Bonsall Pool & Spa. All in-stock swimming pools are 50% off through the end of May while supplies last. You don't want to miss out on this hot deal. Visit our showroom at 33rd and Pioneers today. Learn more about the promotion at bonsallpool.com. Bonsall Pool & Spa, every day made better. Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Be safe, bro.
We are back, old school. Jay Foreman, Kenny Wilhite, Austin. We're here at Cedars, Give to Lincoln Day, but we have a special guest, right? The man, right?
Yeah.
The man of the hour, Jim Blue, Cedars CEO, President. Jim, welcome.
Thank you very much.
To the old school show. This is the real deal show here.
I know. I listen.
All right.
I'm a listener.
Good. See, I like that. I like that, Jim.
I love it when the concrete mixers drive by and honk.
Yeah, hey, the support is always welcome.
Yeah.
Jim, for our listeners from 4 to 6 drive time, tell them about Jim Blue and how you became CEO, president, and how long you've been here.
Great. So Jim Blue, I'm a Lincoln boy. Grew up here, Lincoln Southeast.
Okay.
So, hero worship guys like you. So
Yeah.
thank you for playing in Nebraska. Appreciate it. More so, thank you for what you're doing today for the community.
You're more than welcome.
We got about 1,200 kids in our care today. About 300 of them are living with us in our emergency shelter or foster homes or apartments. The others are thankfully with their families, and we're in there trying to make sure those families are strong and growing. So the Cedars organization, really a true grassroots nonprofit organization, been around since the 1940s. We rely on the community to support what we're doing today
Right.
in 2023, just like we did in 1947.
Right.
And my 32 years here, this is one of the most fun days I have ever had.
Well,
Here.
that's good.
I've had a lot of days.
We had to make
12
this
hours.
an annual
I've had a
thing.
lot
You
of
12
days.
hours.
But we've had people dropping by. My
Right.
favorite memory this morning.
Please don't say Rashawn.
No.
Or Farley.
He's something, though. So my favorite memory is about 7 this morning. Car drives by, rolls down the window, and throws out a $100 bill on the curb.
Oh, that's all right. You had to be somewhere.
He had to get to work. I know. So I mean, we so appreciate the support for the kids.
That's good, man. What was your calling over 30 years ago to say, you know what, I want to get involved with Cedars?
I don't know. I'd give you the honest answer to that, but I don't know. But what I do know is I just really like kids.
Right.
When I was a young man, I was a lifeguard for about 4 years at the Knowles Country Club. I don't know if
Yeah.
you remember
Yeah.
that, about
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah.
You know, I was a volunteer big brother for the juvenile probation office, just always like kids. You know, family reunions now, I'm the old man out there playing flag football with the kids.
Right.
You know, not the guy sitting in the chair talking. I just like kids. And so, you know, I guess I was just led this way and been very blessed.
You talked about Cedars being around for 75 years, but over the last 30 years, what are the two or three most impactful things you've seen in the growth, not only in Cedars, but in the Lincoln community and the support that you guys are able to not only receive, but then give back to kids and families?
Well, great question. I guess the first thing that comes to my mind is people ask me how the kids have changed
Right.
over the 3 decades I've been here. I don't think the kids have changed.
Right.
Now, the environment around them has. There are more lethal weapons around.
Sure.
Right?
Yes. Right.
There are more lethal drugs around.
Right.
Right. And there are more lethal influences around.
Yes.
But
Right.
the kids are the same. The kids, I've never met a child that doesn't want to be liked and appreciated.
Right.
What we try to do is get in there and be a buffer
Mhm.
between all of those really nasty influences
Right.
and show the child that they have a chance. They have a chance to have a life
Right.
that doesn't involve prison.
Right.
A family, a chance to really be together and not just another statistic.
Right.
So we try to get between the person and all those negative influences. So maybe that's what has not changed.
Right.
Is the child.
Right. Another thing I want to ask you is, like, you know, can't speak for Kenny, but for me, you know, when my dad went to college and my uncles went, you know, the first one that, you know, in our family to go on to college.
Yep.
So it's quote unquote breaking the cycle. A lot of things that you were just talking about is breaking the cycle. Talk about how rewarding it is when you see an alumnus, right? Or alumni.
Yep.
Flourishing.
Yep.
When they come in and maybe you have like a, you know, go back in memory when they first came in and how they've progressed and how fulfilling it is when you see them doing well out in society.
You know, so of course, flourishing is a relative term.
Right.
We do have kids who are involved in Cedars that are now, you know, moving in the upper class
Right.
of our society and such, and they're doing great. They're doctors and lawyers and such as. We also have kids. We had a young lady who had been in our care. She left when she was about 17. I was Hy-Vee. She's 19 now. She's working Hy-Vee, and she came up, and I was there with my wife, and she just said, "Thank you so much for giving me a chance."
Right.
We also today, one of our staff was downtown at Give to Lincoln celebration downtown. And as they walked out, he ran into about a 35-year-old person who has a steady job washing dishes in a restaurant downtown. They struck up a conversation. He said, when I was young, I was at Cedars for 6 months and you saved my life. And he gave us a $5 bill. Wow. Flourishing is relative.
Right.
But it is all great.
Right.
When we've got someone who can afford to give us a $5 bill and says, "You saved my life."
Sure.
Sometimes that means more than anything.
Right. Yeah, that's great, man. I mean, it's, you know, I always say that the being a public servant is sometimes can be the hardest job, but the most rewarding job. And I think obviously the rewards outweigh the hard days. You know, what has kept you going? Right. You got the carriage house coming, right? What has kept you going to okay, we're successful now. We're expanding. Obviously, you're able to beat last year. What has kept you to say, okay, let's add this, let's do this? Is it the staff? Is it the support? Is it the whole conglomerate of being open to new ideas from people that maybe are, obviously not the CEO and president, that help you to see outside of, what you've been doing normally, which has been a lot of great things?
Like I said just a second ago, we are often dealing with life and death situations. Last winter, we had our street outreach team had contact with a 16-year-old that had a 1-month-old baby and came into our drop-in center downtown and was looking for help desperately. You can't find help for a 16-year-old with a 1 month.
Right.
So we needed about 2 days to try to cobble something together for them. And by the time we had something together, which was just not hardly even 2 days, she's gone. I don't know where she is today. That was the motivation for developing the Carriage House, which will be a place that we can immediately put kids in that desperate situation. 2 lives, right?
Yeah.
Pregnant or parenting 2 lives in that situation, give them the skills they need to make it on their own, hook them up with community resources, talk about prenatal care, get them locked in, and then prepare them in a short period of time to get out on their own with our continued support. They'll have the same staff person when they're within the Carriage House as when they're in one of our apartments. So it is driven by need.
That is awesome. We are wrapping up this, we're going to call it CEO President segment with Jim Blue, the CEO and president of Cedars. We appreciate you being on, Jim. First of all, appreciate you being a listener, but we appreciate you being on. Again, Cedars is doing a lot of great things. It's going to continue to do great things. And we appreciate everybody out there lending their support on Give to Lincoln Day.
Thank you. Big fan.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm a big fan, man. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Appreciate it, sir.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Okay. Old school will be right back. I don't know how much sports we're going to talk today, Austin, but we're going to try to dip in a little bit because, I thought when Kenny was asking me about my wallet, I thought maybe I'd accidentally bet him on the game last night.
You did. I just remember.
Yeah, he didn't bamboozled me into, man. He wants everything from it. So we'll be right back. We'll talk a little sports, old school. We'll be right back.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system in the spring, repair or redesign as needed, and turn it off in the fall. For service to orphan sprinklers, remember Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again, and with me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all of us are extremely proud to have earned this award, and I want all of our customers to know it's not just earned by one person's efforts. It's the entire dealership. Sales, parts, and our amazing service department.
17 times. Wow. How does that compare to other Honda dealers?
This award is only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence. We really do strive to go above and beyond for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale, Charlie.
That's why for 2022, Honda of Lincoln is once again Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hi, I'm Barb Bettine, President and CEO of the Lincoln YMCA. On behalf of the Y, I want to thank you for voting us Lincoln's Choice for Best Youth Sports Programs, Best Youth Activity Programs, and Best Preschool. These categories represent so much of what we do at the Y, and we're honored to serve thousands of families in our community each and every day. Hey, with summer just around the corner, I invite you to stop in to one of our 4 branches and learn how the Y can be a part of your family. The Y Outdoor Pools open May 27th, and we can't wait to see you.
Hey, this is former Husker and motivational speaker Ricky C. Simmons. Some kids worry about making the team. Others worry about where they'll sleep tonight. In Lincoln, over 3,000 kids are at risk of homelessness. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids, and on Give to Lincoln Day on Wednesday, May 24th, your gift goes even further. Go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln kids today.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, we are back old school. We got a long segment here at Cedars. Again, Give to Lincoln Day. Go to Give to Lincoln, drop down and find Cedars, or stop by and donate in person. We are on about, 66 and Pioneers, and Cedars is celebrating their 75th year. It's like a big old party, like a big cookout here. We got Mary Ellen's here, and everybody's rubber-dubbing and grubbing, so it's all good. You got Jake over there. Jake Sorensen. They came up on some golf clubs.
Special bouquet.
You came up on some golf clubs, don't want to share with nobody, but that's just Jake, though. You know, look, we accept you how you are. We understand where we're at in this type of pecking order, Jake. It's all good. We love you the same.
That man got 2 hands around him.
Don't he? Didn't even think about giving up a 2-iron. Look, Tiger Woods don't hit a 2-iron. Jake Sorensen said he keeping a 2-iron. But anyways, we had Mr. Blue on, the CEO and president of Cedars, which was great. We've had people on throughout the day, had 10 hours of coverage. which is obviously good. We do commend Cedars for allowing some of our brethren
10:45 to be exact.
10:45, but we got to give Cedars and their staff a lot of credit for allowing some of our brethren to come here and
I heard
mingle.
some of them this morning.
I know I did. I had to turn it off, but it's
I had
all
to turn it off. Yes,
but it's all good. Now we're gonna do a little sports talk, just because we got to do what we got to do. And it was a big game last night. Miami Heat, I think, squandered an opportunity and might have lost the NBA championship last night. And here's why: they losing in Boston. Okay,
Austin said it.
They losing in Boston. Austin,
He said it.
Yeah,
He said it yesterday.
They losing in Boston. So now you got 2 games under your belt on a team that's got a lot of tread on their tires out because they've had to expend so much energy just to get into the playoffs. Kind of went through Milwaukee pretty easy. But this is a series when you're down 3-0. This is where Denver, it might be their year. They shut the door on the Lakers.
Shut it.
Even though I think they've had more competition as far as the Lakers' harder games.
Yes.
Miami had everything teed up for them. A perfect, and you mentioned it, Kenny, when I asked you about how to prepare. It's 0-0. I think that they were thinking that Boston was going to quit again.
You said it yesterday. You thought that Boston was going to quit, or they were thinking
that
Boston was going to quit. And I said it. You have to have the mind frame that it's 0-0.
Yeah.
Whether you up 3-0 or you down 2-0, you down 3-0, it's 0, one game at a time,
right.
One possession at a time.
Yeah. In 1 quarter at a time, it's got to be. You almost got to dummy that game down to literally the seconds. One possession, one foul, and you got to kind of keep your head down. And then obviously at the end of the game, you want to try to figure it out. Obviously be within close. That game got blown open pretty quick, even though Jimmy Butler in the 3rd quarter started to get cooking. It was almost like a smoke screen getting cooking, right? Because Jimmy Butler only had 10 points, had 12 in the 3rd quarter, got up to 22, and everybody's like, okay, Jimmy's going to do his thing. I think the team was waiting for Jimmy just to go on for another 15 instead of everybody playing the same. Now, Boston shot better than they have in about 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, they shot better because Miami's defense wasn't as good.
No.
So, I want to ask you guys, Kenny. I want to ask you, Austin, because you predicted it, right? So, you might be Nostradamus or something, the prophet. I want to ask you, in your experience, you've coached, and obviously obviously not an NBA coach, but you've coached before. What type of effect do you think that had on Miami? Do you think Miami, even though I think they're one of the best organizations in all of sports, is equipped to come back for it? Or do you think, not that they're in trouble of losing the series, but in trouble of losing the NBA playoffs, considering that they're going to have to go and earn it if they're able to close out Boston at Boston? The energy, dealing with the crowd, the travel, the physical play, at home, Boston's not going to quit, right? Do you think they're in trouble, or do you think they're equipped to say, you know what, we got to hit reset. We dropped the opportunity. Now we've been the most dominant team in this series. 1 game isn't anything. Let's shut the door and put these dudes to bed in 1, 2, 3 Cancun. You think they got the wherewithal to do that?
I think they do, but the onus is on them to prove it now, because like Kenny was saying, they missed a chance to not just shut the door, but really slam the door. Say, this is our series,
right.
4-0, make it authoritative. If they do happen to win in Boston on the road, that to me says, okay, they flushed it. Boston shot well. There's just kind of the one last kick Boston had. But if the Heat don't match the energy in TD Garden tomorrow, that's a problem. If they stand around and wait for Jimmy Butler to do something and get going, that's a problem. Miami also has to shoot better. They were doing fine on offense. The problem is they were trading 2s for 3s from
right.
Boston. You lose that math more often than not.
Right.
Now, which Boston is the real Boston? Was it the one from last game, or was it the one from 3 games prior?
Right.
My guess is it's somewhere in the middle, which means we get another, 2 or 3 possession game. And that's where Boston has struggled and where Jimmy Butler needs to be Jimmy Butler in those late moments. So I'm still sticking with Heat in 6. I think the Celtics have that one last kick in them at home before the Heat say, okay, enough's enough, foot's down, we're moving on. But the scary thing is, Boston was down 3-2 to Philly on the verge of elimination, having to go on the road.
Right.
They won that game, and then they wrap it up in Game 7 at home. They've been to the NBA Finals. Heck, they had a lead in the NBA Finals over
right.
Golden State. So the moment shouldn't be too big for Boston, but it's proven that it can be before. If they get that look in their eyes, that's when Jimmy Butler, when Duncan Robinson, even Bam Adebayo on defense have to get that look in their eye and say, okay, nope, we sense it. We're going for the kill. This is it. This is done now.
What do you think, Kenny? I got 2 questions for you, Kenny. Do you think Miami Heat can win in Boston? And then number two, if they so happen to lose tomorrow in Boston, could they actually be in trouble? Because when you look player for player, the Celtics are a better team.
Yes.
And if they get out of their own way, they can win 4 in a row. It's not that they can't do it. They just hadn't, and they played really bad in the 3 games. And it seemed like they had a come to Jesus type of meeting, and everybody got to say, look, we need to do this. What are your thoughts on those 2 questions?
Can Boston win the next game? Yes. If they win the next game, you're going to start seeing some tight, you know what?
Sphincter muscle.
Because they're a proven team.
Yeah. And they've beaten Miami before.
They were in the championship last year. And again, I'm going to say this. If they go to the mind of one game, one possession at a time, don't try to be the hero. Do what we can do as a team because they have the better team, all in all.
Right.
If they win this game, the next game in Boston, the Heat going to get tight. The Heat sphincter muscles are going to get
Boy, they
tight.
be pushing out some diamonds out there, some cubic zirconiums or something.
Because Tatum's struggled. Brown has totally struggled.
Right. And he didn't even play good last
night. Tatum hit those 2 threes.
Yeah.
That took Boston over
the hump.
If they let him get hot early, it's a wrap for Miami. It's a wrap. And then they win that one.
And Denver's just sitting back, rested and ready.
Jokic is like this.
Drinking vodka and water.
I hope not.
Or maybe just vodka.
Oh, that gives him his powers.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Same with Luka.
Oh, yeah.
Vodka?
Luka drinks beer,
He's a
so
beer
he
guy,
don't.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Vodka be giving him his superpowers.
If I'm them boys, I'm not drinking no liquor.
His last name ends with Kitch. What do you think he's going to be drinking?
If I'm them boys,
Oh, they probably no.
I'm
Seriously,
not
they're not
any
drinking
liquor until after.
No,
the
they're a
championship
focused team. I was just joking.
I
but
know you are, but I'm just saying, even
going out.
Even
You just
going
need
out.
to- this is time to lock in sacrifice.
I'm locked in. If I'm doing anything, I'm having the boys at my house. We're gonna cater some food.
We're gonna watch.
We're
the
gonna
game.
watch the game. We're gonna chill. Or we
Nothing should change.
Nothing should change because you can. That rest can hurt you too.
Right, you lose your sharpness.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go. So you guys played in postseason, games at Nebraska. What was it like? How did you balance getting rest after a long regular season, but staying sharp and ready for a big bowl game?
Austin, we didn't get no rest.
We ain't getting no
Austin,
rest.
I'm telling you,
We got a couple days off when they went and recruited. I used to tell you, here's the best time. I can't talk for you, Kenny. When we'd make the bowl game, here's when it was always my favorite. I wouldn't say my favorite time, but I was like, yeah, we're gonna have some fun today. So we'd beat Oklahoma like we always do, right? After a day after Thanksgiving. And then, or in my case, we went to the Big 12. But then after that, the coaches would go recruit for 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe half the staff would be gone, half the staff would be there. And the practice was still physical and stuff, but then we would be doing it a lot different, right?
Ring the bell. Sorry.
B-Day. Big donation. Drove back too. Went and hit the ATM and came back. So that's a good brother right there, like always. But then it was the practices also, and then it was a little relaxed. We kind of let loose a little bit. But then as we got back, Coach Sam like, hey, Chief, the staff is going to be back. We knew to tighten up.
Yep.
But to be honest with you, T.O. always worked as hard, but we always seemed to be fresh and ready to go. So I think that, for Denver, I'm still practicing the same, and I would do some self-scouting too.
Yes.
And sometimes with younger players, say like a Jamal Murray, definitely a Porter Jr. I don't think with Pope or Joker, and you got good, balance between young guys and older guys like Jeff Green and them. Sometimes you got to kind of, I wouldn't say overcoach them, but bring them down off the pedestal, because there's some things that they have done in the series against the Lakers, even though they swept the Lakers. My message to them is, yes, we won 4-0. We were a great or a good enough team to win. But let's look at why this game was so close, or these games were so close for these 4 games, so we don't have to go over these same mistakes in the NBA championship, because we have 4 games to go, but we can't get to 4 if we don't win 1.
Yep.
So our focus is on game 1 and really kind of peel back that onion and get them to refocus. I think that'll do them a lot of good as they're getting together and watching these finals or watching the game tomorrow and see who they possibly could play. I think the longer it goes without a champion out of the East, that arrow keeps going faster and faster to Denver. And, just because of being worn down and the way that Denver plays, right? So if Denver played more like Miami and Boston, that's fine. So like the Lakers, right?
Yes.
It really wouldn't be much of an advantage. The fact that Denver runs the court so hard, so fast all game long, it allows them to be down by 12 to the Lakers 3 games. And then next thing you know, they're right back in it. Here's why. They run, but then they play hellified defense. Last year and years past, they would run. Defense was optional. That's the big difference. And then they brought on some defensive guys. And so, when you think about Boston and Miami, yes, it'd be great for them to get there, but they also know that they got a big, hill to climb or, big task at hand. But first and foremost, I think, man, I'm telling you, if Boston plays like they did last night at home and beats Miami, that flight back to Miami, I talked about the turbulence. Kenny, that thing, nobody going to sleep or wait, because here's why. They're going to start going back to game 4 when they just lost to game 5. We had it at home. Now we have to win at home. Well, if Boston takes their game from Boston, down there, and they're not running through them, and they're not able to punk them, with their kind of toughness, and Boston is booting up, boy, you mess around, get to game 7, it's over. You might as well just stick a fork in them. They done. Dunsky. And then you're going to be thinking about them being broken up like the Philadelphia 76ers. At the top of the hour, we come back. Phoenix Suns brought in Doc Rivers. I want to ask you about Doc. I want your just perspective on Doc Rivers. You too, Austin. I think he's a great coach, great guy. I want to ask your opinion. Was it more of a Philly thing, the situation of Philly, players letting him down, Daryl Morey, obviously, or is it Doc Rivers losing the big game again? So when we come right back, old school, Jay Foreman, Kenny, Austin, we'll be right back.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, I'm Barb Bettine, President and CEO of the Lincoln YMCA. On behalf of the Y, I want to thank you for voting us Lincoln's Choice for Best Youth Sports Programs, Best Youth Activity Programs, and Best Preschool. These categories represent so much of what we do at the Y, and we're honored to serve thousands of families in our community each and every day. Hey, with summer just around the corner, I invite you to stop in to one of our 4 branches and learn how the Y can be a part of your family. The Y Outdoor Pools open May 27th, and we can't wait to see you.
The days of internet contracts and heavy fine print are over. It's time to experience hassle-free service with no contracts or hidden fees. That's the Allo promise. Allo Communications provides fiber internet, TV, and phone services with fair and no-nonsense pricing. All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, 24/7 local support 365 days a year, and a monthly bill you can count on. Don't settle for gimmicks. Settle for hassle-free with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/hassle-free.
Some kids worry about making the sports team. Others worry about where they'll sleep tonight. In Lincoln, 300 kids are in need of a safe and loving home. Cedars is here for them, but we do need your help. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln's kids today.
Need service on your home air conditioner? No matter what brand you have, just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this summer. Check out their new Keen and Tiva brand sandals for hiking and Olukai sandals for sitting by the pool. Plus, they're stocked up on Hey Dudes to catch you up on the latest shoe fashion. They also have shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66 and Q in Lincoln.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. We are back to Old School out here, Cedars. One more hour for the ticket. 11 great hours down, 1 great hour to go. I'm Austin Norman, waiting for Jay Foreman to get back, but that's okay. We got two other Husker greats with us. Kenny Wilhite back in the building, but of course, to my right, Amon Green, fresh back from Kansas City. How was the trip?
Oh, it was good. We got some picked up some recruits.
I didn't get me a shirt. Did you get a shirt?
Yeah, Kristen has it.
She's the hookup, Kenny.
There you go.
I didn't get a shirt. You can't.
What?
That's an XL. I was
Yeah.
just making sure they gave you the right size.
Yeah, so
you
Casey
walking around
was
with
good.
this medium shirt.
Nah, man, we had some
Busting straight out of it.
some schools from California. So it was a national event. So it wasn't just local Kansas City or Missouri schools there. There were, but then it was schools from California, from New York, from Florida, from Texas. You had Hebron from Texas.
Yeah, Hebron.
Yeah, Bosco from California.
From California?
They had Rocket
Wow.
League and Valorant, and I talked to one of the Rocket League players. What's up? Oh, thank you.
He don't drink Sprite. He drinks his
No, you're
alkaline
right.
water.
You're right. And actually, I just texted him before I got out the truck because he's like highly ranked supersonic level 2 in Rocket League, and he's going into college for engineering already. Hasn't committed here, but that's what he's looking for. So hopefully I can get him out here.
You'll get him
in the Midwest.
You'll get him.
Now we got the guy sitting down who actually name is on the show.
That's right, man. AG had to put me in check about this heat.
What you mean?
He said I need to welcome the heat. I said, bro,
Wait, we should all be fine with this, right?
I love the heat.
I flipped the switch when I was 13.
Love it.
Love it.
All right, then
That's
go
why I'm
ahead.
moving back to Houston.
Yeah, go ahead, get
That is-
right back out there in that heat.
I wore a hot suit today.
Oh, with
Full
the
hot suit, pants and jacket,
I remember those.
and walk.
The coaches would wear them during training camp.
Yeah. You wanted to get a trash bag, guys, ain't you?
No, never wore trash bag.
No, he didn't have to do that. He was
No.
a DB.
Yeah, I know, but you
I wore a
never
long
know.
sleeve though.
Yeah,
I did wear a long
yeah,
sleeve.
me too.
Oh yeah, I love the heat. I'll take the heat over the
I'll
cold.
play in the heat.
No, you always
You
talking
play in
about
the cold.
You always
No,
talking about how hot it is,
I'll play in the heat.
but you're
Because
always
I could-
complaining about it.
But I'll play in the heat. But I'm not just gonna just
I'm gonna sit up in it like
Me
this.
too. Yeah,
like
Yeah,
this.
we in the
almost.
shade. We chilling.
We chilling.
yeah. In the shade and the heat is different. You like
It's
the heat so
true.
much? Go right out there in that sun.
Yeah.
And talk to me in an hour.
I will.
I'll be sweaty, but
problem.
I'll be all
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Give me a water and I can rehydrate.
See?
I'm good. Gotta flip
Yeah,
that switch.
when you fall out there, we can make sure all.
This how it was during tour days. He always mad about something.
Yeah.
The heat's got him cranky.
Hey, when you be headbutting guys all the time, you know what I'm saying, and don't get no glory.
Y'all had to go at it. Y'all had to go at it.
Yeah, but Amana always on the TV screen.
That wasn't my fault.
So he got all the pub.
Yeah,
Ain't my fault.
We do all the work.
We gotta do all the work.
Yeah.
Jay, that's not my fault.
But
Man,
he's blaming you for it.
you want to hear? Here's one thing about AG though. I'm gonna tell you this: we playing out there in Colorado, brother. Look, the elevation was on your boy Jay Foreman, so I was like, hey, I gotta get that Gator light in me. I gotta get my second win. So I'm like, all the offenses, you know, because their defense was okay, but I mean, we was better. So I'm like, oh yeah, okay, we'll take 5 minutes off the clock. Then you always had a clock where my second win to come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'll turn up 30 down the sideline. Man, I want to hit AG.
You want to trip him?
Yeah, slow down. House call. Damn, bro.
Because you had to go back out there.
Yeah. Couldn't even, didn't even have it happen. AG, look up there, and you know they ain't catching AG.
No, they're not catching.
Once AG got 2 yards ahead of you,
it was a wrap.
Yeah. He cocked the head back. It's deuce.
Deuces.
If they even,
they leave.
He leaving.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you about AG, where the speed he had when he ran that 40.
Yeah, he was there.
Coach D was there. You know, Coach D. Coach D was like, "Oh my God, he was getting faster." AG get faster. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the difference that people don't understand about house calls, right? And this is where I always had a problem with, I guess, coaches and stuff, where they solely focus on what you ran at track, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or speed. You know, and obviously you need speed within reason. And from a defensive perspective, there's one guy that you worry about, guy that can outrun angles. So
Yes,
once he gets going,
yes,
he gone, right?
Right.
That means he'll run. Now, somebody that hits top speed quick, see, I'd rather do, because then you can kind of formulate to catch him.
Yep.
And there's a distinct difference. I mean, I don't know how and AG was that guy. Once he starts going, it was like a locomotive. He hit
faster.
It. Yeah, because I mean, his first 40 was fast. That second 40 might have been like a 3.5. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing where I think a lot of these scouts or prognosticators don't really do a fair assessment. They just say, okay, well, he ran I don't know, what's the fast 10-100. I mean, that's got to be fast.
Yeah,
right?
10-1
or
is
say
fast.
a 10-4 or whatever would be deemed fast. But the guy that can actually run that 200, and I remember watching Michael Johnson when he ran it, and they talked about how he trained with the dumbbells.
Mm-hmm.
But once he got, I think they said it was like 135 meters, you know, the 200, that he finished the last part of the race faster.
Yep.
Those are the ones in the football that you want. Those are the ones you want at your skill position, because if you can get the football skills to them, once they can, you know, I'm thinking wide receiver, get them to be able to shake off the line and then hit it. They can outrun a cover 3, cover 1, cover 4, and that's where you see them get
cover 2.
Yeah, cover 2.
Two halves. They outrun
that Randy Moss.
Yeah, you got that Tyreek Hill speed. That's what you're talking about,
right?
In terms of present day,
yes.
Right?
Yeah. So right now,
and Tyreek Hill is I think he's a combination of both. He's quick. He can hit you, leave you early, but he fast long term too.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a problem.
We call that long speed.
Yeah. That's that goodbye speed. That's that country speed.
So you make a cut. Is that first step the most important in hitting top speed, or where do you what? In terms of the cut, what's the
first
part
step gets me through the hole. Like if I see the hole and I got to hit it right now, that's what got me through the hole. And it was the part of my game that I learned starting here, because we had the line to basically I could take 1, 2, 3 steps towards the hole to get my line, the run fit set up. And then once I saw that hole, because it's going to open and it's going to close. DB, y'all know that. JM, Kenny know that. It's going to open and close. So I want to start hitting it when it goes like this. So I'm anticipating it. And then if it ain't there, then I just put my shoulder down, pick up what I can. But if it's there and I'm full speed, as Jay said, house call.
AG, you know, for me and Kenny played quarterback, you know, so we had our offensive glory. It stopped at college.
Right.
Like, me, I was a running back. And people always would ask when I played defense, right? You know, could you hear the crowd and stuff like that? So, but I scored in college on defense. But talk about what it's like when you break that long run, because it's different, right? I mean, because I always tell people when you're playing and the play's going on, you don't hear anything.
No, you don't.
And then all of a sudden, once the play happens, it's like the volume goes from 0 to 1,000.
It goes like to mute when you're exploding.
Yeah.
Either big play, whatever the big play is, a long run or good tackle or interception, whatever. Then once you're done, you get tackled, or if you're in the end zone, then you hear like, oh, okay, everybody's cheering. So that was that's what I would hear. I would hear nothing. I hear Tommy talking, or I hear the O-line talking amongst each other. I get the ball. I'm looking at, blocks and angles to see how I could get through, get the yards, whatever in front of me. But if it's somewhere I see a gap, I'm hitting it. And I'm just taking advantage, using what God gave me from mom and dad, basically, from that point on. So,
AJ, I want to ask you just because, I said, we played with each other, played against you or in the league.
Yeah.
And then when, obviously I always say we are able, and Kenny as well, we're able to watch football differently. Just
100%.
Because we've watched thousands of hours of film. We look at it differently. Our enjoyment, or at least my enjoyment of a football game is totally different than the scoreboard.
Me too.
So when we're looking at Nebraska's running back room, right? Let's just get into a little bit.
Grant. Who else? I don't know. I know Grant.
Irvin Jr.
Irvin Johnson. You got my man from Minnesota,
Emmett Johnson.
Emmett Johnson.
Okay.
Ramir. Yep. When you look at our running backs, what are like the 2 or 3 tips that you could just give the room, right? Because they're all different running backs that you could give the room from your astute eye that they could concentrate on in the dog days of June, because the temperature's about to get up.
Yep.
But so this is when you got to work more. This ain't just go do your workout, go home and chill. This is do your workout, eat right, lift again, watch film. What are 2 or 3 things you could just, if you could talk to that room to be like, you know what, this is what you guys need to do?
I say first thing would be, you're not going to be perfect at anything. So learn how to deal with mistakes. Learn how to turn them mistakes into victories or wins later. Because with this new coaching staff, as you know, we went through it in the league in terms of firing coaches, and we got to readjust to the new staff and the new scheme. So obviously the mind of those guys that have been here, it's like, dang, I got to impress these guys now. It started in spring ball, and it's going to continue through the summer. And then once training camp get here in August, late July, August, it's going to be the same mindset. So don't focus so much on I got to impress them. Just I could look at it internally, because when you look at trying to impress the whole staff, that's overwhelming.
Right.
That's 20 guys, 20 coaches. Just focus on one. You, as a runner, as a player, just focus on what you do, what you need to know, and know it like the back of your hand. And then when mistakes happen, okay, let me mark that down. I did this last time. It was a mistake. Let me fix that. Or ask the coach, hey, coach, or I'll tell them, hey, this is what you did wrong.
Right.
And this is how you can do to alleviate that next time.
Right.
So do that. That's number one. I would tell them. You're going to always mess up. So don't get mad at yourself. Get better from it.
Right.
Use that as turn it into a positive. And then number 2, being running backs, knowing how to secure that ball to a point where it's like Fort Knox.
Right. It's got to be an outstanding play by the defender.
Exactly, to get the ball out. I learned, starting here, but then once I got to the pro level too, but here too, dealing with y'all.
Right.
Dealing with the
black shirt. He said dealing with us.
Because I'll get one, y'all were gang tackle.
Yeah.
One to hit me, boom.
Yeah.
And then the second one coming, and I'm dealing with the first guy trying to get him off me.
Yeah.
Then the second guy, boom, he's coming for this. So I'm like, oh man. So I learned how to, once I got y'all help me.
Right.
Practicing against y'all, getting to Seattle, getting to Green Bay. I remember one game. This is at the end of my career. I'm at the UFL. I'm at the Nighthawks.
Right.
And we're playing a game against. We're out in Connecticut playing against the Connecticut team.
Right.
And I had a ball in my right arm, my weak arm. This is my weak arm. I'm left-handed. I had it in my right arm, and this DB took a ride because of y'all.
Right.
Because he's on there. He's by himself.
Right.
I'm already handling people over here. And he's just holding on for and that ball was not coming out. I felt the air come out of it. I was squeezing. I was
right.
So just learn how to hold on to that ball tight. And then number 3 would basically try to be that utility person. You could do everything.
Oh, yeah.
You could run the ball. You could catch the ball. You could pick up the blitz and make a tackle from time to time if it's an interception or a fumble.
Right.
Be that team player. Teams? Yeah, or special teamer.
Right.
Be that guy. Because that room, for one, the team in general, every room, running backs, DBs, linebackers, everybody's there. Like I said, for me, I looked at we're all teammates.
Right.
So don't think you're fighting against that guy in the room, especially the guys in the room.
Right.
Make those guys your friend. friends because y'all gonna support each other. You don't realize it.
Right.
You know, I know it's the transfer portal and NIL and guys making more money than but you gotta erase all that because it's football at the end of the day. And if you want to try to get a career in the NFL or in a pro level of anything, baseball, basketball, whatever, if you focus on, oh man, he's making that much and he don't need my help. I ain't gonna help him with that. Shoot, LP was giving me all the knowledge I could take my freshman year.
Exactly.
CC, Clint Child, they was giving me stuff.
Right.
You was giving me stuff. When y'all would tackle me, I'm like, I'm learning.
Yeah. I
mean, so just being those 3-4 things right there, how that mindset is, because once you have that mindset, then it can be infectious.
Right.
Then everybody be like, oh man, he's helping me out. He don't even have to help me out, and he's doing that. I said, once you get to that level, then guys are on the same page.
We kind of talked about that the other day about guys helping each other and bringing them along. Remember?
Right. Oh yeah.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
And because that makes you better as a team.
100%.
Makes your unit better, but it also makes you better as a team.
Yep.
If us four are playing the same position, right?
Mm-hmm.
You come in as a highly touted freshman. Jay's a redshirt
linebacker.
I'm just saying, we're all at the same position. Though.
Right. Oh, yeah.
You come in as a highly touted freshman. Jay's a redshirt sophomore. Austin's
I'm the old senior
no,
that's getting replaced.
I'm using examples, but I'm not using names.
Yeah.
Right.
Prop 48 guy.
Yeah.
Right. I'm the junior going to be senior.
Right.
In my case, that guy and this guy is going to make me better if I bring them along.
Right.
Because if I go down, we're going to need them.
Right. And
right.
ultimately, winning is so important.
Winning is so, and that was the mind frame we had.
Yeah.
So, like he said, it's for the running back room, for any room. And I said this on our show. Nebraska doesn't need to be worried about Minnesota right now.
No, they got to worry about.
They got to worry about themselves, their house, individual position groups, getting it right starting June 5th.
Oh, should have started back.
Well, I know what you said, but with the new
where we're at right now,
where we're at right now, because you're still adding guys.
That's right.
So when they start up officially on June 5th, Monday, June 5th, right?
Mm-hmm.
They need to have those steps that he just said in their mind, but at every position.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're going to need some guys, and I think they've had some guys, kind of take over leadership roles. But the biggest thing that Nebraska needs is organic leadership of guys to, come. They shouldn't be working out. I'm a big believer when you 4-8, there ain't no time off.
No.
Oh. Okay. Now you might get your time. You know what your time off is when you don't got to be down the stadium against the weekend.
Yep.
What you going home for, bro? Because nobody wants to see. I know look. You couldn't tell me nothing when I'm walking around Minneapolis as a national champion with my Nebraska stuff on.
Yeah.
I wore it even sometimes too much. It was like, man, you need to wash it. You know what I mean? But I'm going to let you know, okay,
right.
National champion is here.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be no timeout. But come Monday, and talk about an AG.
Ooh.
It's a different mindset because going through spring, I always say that's kind of like mini camp, right?
Yeah.
When you come in as a rookie, I mean, pretty high. Everybody, the reps are spread out, and the coaches are more chill for the most part.
Way chill.
But when you get to training camp, oh no,
you're like, man,
job's on the line.
Is this a clone?
Yeah,
right.
This the doppelganger right here?
It's a job's on the line.
Like,
talk about the difference in the mindset, AG. When you go from into spring, finish school, graduate, and it's like, okay, now it's summer. Because it's got to be a different way you start to view your day-to-day life. Because I think, for me, besides the physical issues, one of the things that wore me out after 9 years was the consistent ramp up. And then it became no time off. So you got to be angry. Instead of only being angry like 150 days, Kenny, it became 250 to 300. Because at the end of the day, because when you're in that position, you're battling for your paycheck. It's not a free scholarship and NIL money, and then you got Twitter followers. You have a bad practice, or you have or the team has a bad season. Come Friday, you got a job. Monday, you waiting for your agent to go do something.
I need your playbook, please.
And when you get older in the league, them agents, boy, I tell you what, boy, my agent called me from sun up to sundown when I started to take off. Hey, how was practice today? This is what you need to do after every game and all that. Man, once I got to like year 8, 9, brother was kind of just the end was near. Okay. that train was coming to run me over out the
Light was
NFL.
at the end of the tunnel.
That light started getting brighter, and I couldn't dodge it. It was just come take me. Boy, it might be a week before he call you back. Straight up.
Yeah.
Cold. And then cold game. So talk about the difference of the mindset of when you're getting ready to play, because I think that the listeners need to understand
at the pro level.
Even college.
Okay.
Because AG.
Think about your room.
They better be playing for keeps.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
you got to be willing to poke eyes out and stuff like that.
Yeah, you got to. So the mindset is, I'll start at the college level. Like beyond what we mentioned, when I just mentioned the 4 things that come and talk to the running back room, but all players, you're out there, you're competing. You know, you don't have no. I mean, well, today I'll say this: they might have agents already because of NIL deals.
Yeah.
But back then,
some of them do.
You're right. We didn't even have agents. Our agents was our parents, and that wasn't even close to being an agent. But they tried. So the mindset is it's like being almost. It's like you're a brother sister mindset. It's like you love them to death, you know. But I I'm gonna support one another. We gonna all support each other.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to start. I'm trying to play.
Right.
You know. But it's no love lost, and people don't know that's a fine line.
Yes.
And I learned this through my 2 brothers. They used to beat my butt playfully, kick my and then say, "Hey, you learned something today." You know,
right?
I'll be like, and as a kid, I didn't know what to say. I was like,
I hate you.
Let me just say thank you before they throw something else on me,
right?
You know, but so that's where I was built different coming in here, because you know me, I didn't do a whole lot of talking,
right?
And you know why I didn't? My brother said, "Shut up, and do your thing."
Yeah.
But the week before I came in 2-a-days my freshman year, my brother Jerry and Nigga, they both had separate conversations, same words. But you got training camp coming up, right? And like, you better go in there. Don't be trash talking nobody. And they know I don't trash talk.
Right.
They know this. They pretty much helped raise me.
Yeah.
I'm 17 years old. They know this already. Don't go in there trash talking. You got that black shirt defense. I'm like, okay, no problem. You know, and sure enough, I come in, you know, and then how the ball bounces, you know, where in terms of my play time, it was just be patient. You know, I got to know my playbook, got to do what I need to do in practice to let the coaches know that you get confidence behind, you know, coaches got confidence in you to be on that football field. Because I know it wasn't until, I don't know what you heard, because I know you had defensive coaches were a little different than the offensive coaches here. I'll say that at the pro level, I've had running back coaches, and I heard other coaches like wide receivers, D-line coaches say, "Y'all ain't getting me fired."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey,
they told one cat, Jason Lamar, he's like, man, the one Reggie Herring was said, man, you were trying to get me fired or something?
Yeah, the coaches would walk up, be like, "What are you trying to do? You trying to get me fired?" I'm like, "What?" When I first heard it, it just messed my world up. I'm like, man.
The crazy thing is, okay, my 9-year window at the university, you had coaches saying that.
Right. Yeah.
You had coaches would say that.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, in some ways, I think college is more like the NFL when me and AG played, but it's not, because you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, it wasn't no transfer portal.
Right.
No.
And
you had to suck it up.
Guys ain't cut coaches. I view like a coach as like a parachute package. You gotta try hard to get fired. You know what I mean? You gotta try harder to get fired than to get hired.
Oh man!
Once you get hired, you here. They got to pay you. So what? Yeah, fire me and give me my check, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, as long as you're doing the things you need to do as a coach, you'll be straight. Now that's the same thing for players. That NFL boy.
Same thing.
Reggie Herring told I forget the linebacker who played for the Dallas Cowboys. He said, "Ain't my fault that you slow now. I don't care what you did back in the day." He's like, "I don't care." But we're in the 4-point sharing because we didn't have our stadium and every practice facility wasn't built. It was going to be ready, but it wasn't. So everything was in the hotel. We was like remote. We in the ballroom, and I guess he must have got mad because he wasn't playing.
Right.
And he was like a guy that was, he was like not practicing. Like, bro, like these coaches, these are new coaches. I know that, right? I'm in the 4th year. Reggie Herring said, "Hey, we in the meeting. It's like 20 of us, inside and outside linebackers, D coordinator." He said, "Hey, man," he looking right at him. He's like, "I don't care, what you did 20 years or 12 years ago. Today, you too slow and you ain't practicing. Don't be mad at me. What you mad at me for?"
That's
Man,
the coach.
Yeah,
talking to the player.
Right.
To the player,
All
the
right.
veteran too, huh?
Hey, it's reality.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes, I mean, Greg Williams used to be talking to cats.
Oh wow,
Crazy.
Remember that name.
I mean, some coaches say some stuff, but hey, when I saw Reuben Brown, was it Mike Shepard?
Mm-hmm.
So here's the funny thing. So in Buffalo, they had the big auditorium. I don't know how you had it. So that's a team meeting. That's
Yeah.
where the offense would meet.
Yeah.
And then the defense would break off into ours, they were like back to back, right? Then the linebacker room was like just adjacent to it. So if anything popped off in the offensive room, me and my man Freddie Jones from Colorado, we sit there, you hear it,
Yeah.
right? So they was doing install, and our offense was struggling, struggling. It was a struggle bus, where we could, bad,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And
Oh,
it
yeah.
was
I
missed
remember
assignments,
Buffalo.
and they were putting in a whole bunch of stuff. When Greg was in his first year, so Mike Shepard gets up there and he puts it back. This is where they had the projection thing where it would the light would come down and then it reflected and go on the screen.
A little mirror. Yeah.
So he's like, oh, I remember listening. He's like, oh yeah, we got to install. We got to do 12 new plays. Reuben Brown. Now, mind you, Reuben used to wear these dark sunglasses. I swear he was asleep, right?
Yeah.
He wakes up. He was like, how the hell are we going to put in 13 new plays? We can't even run the ones we got, right?
Uh-huh.
And then, so they start going at it. Reuben come down, and he's like, Reuben, hold on. He was like, and just blew him up into the screen. Now, Reuben was going to be a Hall of Famer. He went up and talked to Ralph Wilson. Ain't no more plays went in. I couldn't do that. It took for Ralph Wilson to say something to me. This is when I know I was like, all right, I'm doing all right. It took almost 2 full seasons of me playing to him to, like, he'd shake my hand out. You know how they come to shake your hand? For him to have a conversation.
This the owner?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like that.
And Thurman Thomas was like, boy, you made it. Thurman Thomas was a clown.
I bet he was.
Because he got jobs. He ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got AG. We appreciate him stopping by. Always good to see AG.
Always.
AG is one of those teammates, man. I know, Kenny, we've always had him that you always like when you see him. So we appreciate him stopping by. We're going to go to break. We're going to come back, talk some more NBA. We're going to talk about what J.J. Redick said to your boy Stephen A. Smith.
Ooh, he went at him.
He pretty much said, man, you ain't got no
You ain't got
credibility.
no credibility.
What'd you play?
I want to know.
Why did he say, what was the other call?
Salem, some.
But the one that he said before was disrespectful. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said like Wisconsin something.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
we're going to talk about that when we come back. Old school.
I
Amon Green, Jay Foreman, Kenny Wilhite, and Austin.
I got to hear this.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products, are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at premierdw.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
It's May, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride. Summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Repeat after me.
I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415, or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
This is former Husker Kenny Wilhite. Some kids worry about basic math, others worry about basic needs. In Lincoln, 132 kids are receiving intensive support from Cedar Street Outreach Team. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day on May 24th, your gift goes even further. Go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars to support Lincoln kids. That's givetolincoln.com, helping kids through Cedars.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Neither you or I think he's retiring. The NBA, I don't think, is ready for LeBron to retire. Who's the face of the league?
They're not prepared for it. Like it would be shock in New York because now you're trying to recreate this again, but there's really, they're trying to do it. Like that's why they were hoping Celtics, Lakers. Like they're trying to figure out, find a way to revamp it.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Jay Foreman, Austin, AG. We are blessed to have a special guest again. Probably, how many times have you been on today?
I think this is number 4.
Lita Bach.
You guys might be tired of hearing about me. Sorry.
Hey, we always want to say thank you, obviously, for having us out, and then obviously want to say thank you to the supporters of Cedars. But I wanted to ask you, since we are coming towards the end, right at the end of the day, tell us about the day that you've had, and also what Cedars has had today.
Well, thanks again for having me on. Thank you to The Ticket for having us out here. It has been just amazing. Absolutely amazing. We've exceeded the number of donations that we've received over last year or any year that Give to Lincoln has been happening. We've exceeded the number of individual donors, which is just also real amazing. I've had a phenomenal day. It's always exciting and fun for me to talk about the work that Cedars does, all of the 200 plus employees who actually do all of the work to make our 16 programs successful, and on behalf of all of the vulnerable kids and families in Nebraska. And to have The Ticket out here has just been a blast. You guys were so much fun. I mean, I'm listening to you as I'm driving in. We had all people honking as they're driving by Pioneers Boulevard. We had a couple of cars come by, literally like stop right in front of the booth, throw cash on the ground and just keep going. It was hysterical. So, just to see the amount of support for the work that Cedars does in Lincoln is incredible. And it's just been great. So thank you. We had a ton of people out here for lunch. We had some of our neighbors and board members come out. We had folks from all of our different programs across the city and from Omaha came down to share in the love and the support. So it's just been great.
Even though today's Give to Lincoln Day, we obviously want people to support every day.
Correct.
Cedars, because that's an everyday job and every day that you guys are servant to more people than yourself. Just talk about the expansion of what you're doing here at Cedars, because obviously I think it's really great with Carriage House, but obviously you can explain a lot better than I can.
Yeah, so just to that point, so the services that we provide, I'll just use our emergency shelter as one example. So it's in this location, our emergency shelter. It's the only shelter for kids in Southeast Nebraska. And the resources that we receive, whether it's from HHS or probation or other grants and things like that, through state, city, federal grants, that covers about 60% of what it costs us to actually run the program that we know that these kids deserve. So we provide a whole host of overlay services, whether that's educational support, mental health support, different activities, take them to the zoo or to, we're all helping kids to still have a chance to sort of be like kids, even though they're in shelter. And so all of those overlay services are what the support of the community, that year-round support from individuals, from corporations, from foundations, all of that is what helps us to do the work that we know these kids really deserve. We're excited about the Carriage House. That's our new special project to support, in particular, teens who are homeless, pregnant, and or parenting. We know in the city of Lincoln, just last year, there was a survey done. There was about 350 young people who were homeless in the city. Of those, about 100 were pregnant or parenting.
Oh, wow.
So it's a significant need. There's really no other program like the one that we're designing in the state of Nebraska. And it really is to help provide support those young people in particular. So,
yeah, we had Jim Blue on earlier, and I asked him about being able to forward think. And I want to ask you the expansion and being able to kind of stay ahead of the curve. Where does that come from? Does it come from? It just can't come from the higher ups. Is it something that you guys really welcome, being open to ideas from, people that are, on the ground,
yes.
or stuff like that? Is that a big part of your process?
It is. So we've got about 200 employees here. The Carriage House in particular was identified as a specific need, that there was a gap, right? So we were providing services for 19 to 24-year-olds, had a 90% success rate with that program. But when you get to minors, 15, 16, 17-year-olds and trying to, put them in an apartment by themselves, especially when they got all that other stuff going on, and it's just not, we just can't be that successful. And so they were the ones who came to Jim and said, hey, I think we really have a challenge here. And we want to work together to figure out how do we resolve this. And so, the Carriage House is not permanent housing. It's designed to be a 90 to 120 day stay so that we can provide real intensive skill building for those young people so that they can transition into a permanent place and thrive in our community. So I think one of the cool things for me, Cedars is 75 years old. As research has shifted, so at that time, there were sort of big orphanages. That's really what you had. So you had a bunch of kids here all living together. Well, that's not really what a traditional family is like, where you have that immediate family or maybe some extended family, but you're going to your own school, you're in a special neighborhood, you've got your friends and the neighbors and all that other stuff. So as research has evolved and we know more about what's best for kids, we did more of kind of group home things. Now we've moved to foster care. And I think it just helps to show that, Cedars evolves. We ideate, we innovate, and we work to do what is best for kids and families. And, when more research comes out, or we have had a continuous quality improvement team that collects data. We survey our clients, we survey our partners, we survey our staff, and we really use that information, that data, to help us decide what do we need to do next and how can we expand in a way that makes sense.
I asked Jim Blue earlier about it, and I wanted to ask your opinion. Talk about the fulfillment, right? You've seen, somebody come in, at say a certain age or a certain time, and then just by chance you might see them at Hy-Vee or at a ball game or something like that, and they're doing really, really well. Just talk about the process of that, because I think that's what probably, one of the big things that keeps you going.
Yeah, and when you talk to some of our staff too, and they'll tell you, there's a young woman who has come back to shelter because she built some connections, obviously, with the staff. But this was her home. This was where she felt safe and where she felt kindness, and she felt supported. And so it is really incredible to see those people be able to go on and do whatever it is that they want to do, right? And to be successful contributing members of our community and to continue to make our community strong. We have staff here who, her mother had been at Cedars and now she works here.
Oh, that's nice.
Just story after story after story. I told a story earlier on another segment about one of our education coordinators was at Tower Square today because Lincoln Community Foundation had a number of different nonprofits down there. So he was out there. He had wrapped up his time kind of at the booth, still had his Cedars shirt on, and this maybe 35-ish year old guy, maybe had a few intellectual disabilities, but came up to him and told him that he had been at Cedars as a kid and that Cedars saved his life.
Oh, wow.
And he had just started a dishwashing job at a restaurant downtown. He pulled $5 out of his pocket, gave it to him and said, this is all I can do, but thank you for saving my life.
Nice.
It's just phenomenal.
One of the things I always ask is, talk about the growth of Cedars. Obviously, we know with the carriage house, that's obviously a big focus today. But just talk about the growth, not only of Cedars, of Lincoln, of the support, of the kind of place that you guys have in this realm of what you guys do on a day-to-day basis. Just talk about the growth that you've seen from the time you started, obviously, to today.
Well, Cedars has grown a lot. I think last year around this time, we were maybe serving about 900 kids every day in our care. Today, we're serving about 1,200 kids every day in our care. A lot of that growth has actually come from our Omaha office.
Right.
So we had an office in Bellevue maybe 5 years ago. And at that time, we would say about 1 in 20 of the kids that we serve is out of that Omaha office. Today, that's about 1 in 5.
Oh, wow.
We're now at 108th and Old Mill. Our staff there is expanding a lot. We're serving a lot of, largely foster care is what we're doing in Omaha. And there's a real need for that everywhere. So, if you're interested in being a foster parent, please, cedarskids.org. Check us out. We're here to support you and for you to then be able to support young people in your care.
People don't know that you're a DC girl. Maybe being from DC.
Well, I grew up in Lincoln.
I know, but still, once you get there, you can't lose that stigma.
I can't.
You can't. You're there.
No, it's great. I was there for 21 years.
Talk about maybe some of the lessons you learned from there that you've been able to bring here. Totally two different cities, but you can learn a lot there, or you did learn a lot here. But then also talk about how you're able to maybe, in a roundabout way, bring some of that DC flavor here.
I think one of the things that's just real fun about DC is just there's from through. I used to joke and say, every 4 years your Republican friends would leave, your Democratic friends would come back, whatever, and you just kind of cycle them as as the elections go. And I think it was a great opportunity for me to really learn how to network and to build relationships and the importance of building coalitions and collaborations in order to get things done. And so that's definitely one of the things that I bring.
That's awesome, man. I think that you guys run it. It's kind of like a football team. It all starts at the top, and everybody's got to be on the same page. That's how you are successful. That's what me and Amon were fortunate enough to kind of just be a small cog in it, that we were able to be a part of a good team organization. So Cedars is definitely doing some big things, especially in Lincoln, and will continue. Congratulations on your day today, but congratulations on every day moving forward, because I know it just doesn't stop today. We appreciate you being on. I know it's been a long day. You've been battling. And,
it's been fun. It's been really fun. So I just want to say thank you again.
Oh, you're welcome.
Congratulations. DP, thank you so much. You guys have just really been phenomenal. Jake, thank you. You've been out here since 5:15 this morning. Man. But it just really has been a great partnership, and we hope that continues too. be on today. So
we
thank you.
appreciate you having us out, and we're just as much appreciative as you are getting able to see, the whole facility and stuff like that. So with that, we're going to go to break, give you a break, right? And
so last word.
Go ahead.
Give to Lincoln Day goes until midnight. So we've actually got another 6
hours
and however many minutes.
Where's the radio time that we can fill in another 6 hours? Maybe have to hit the repeat on the highlights of the first 12 hours. So good.
So
Give to Lincoln Day.
Give to LincolnDay.com. Cedars, please choose us or another charity of your choice. But we sure would love to have your support. Special thanks to the ticket for being out here from 6 to 6, 12 hours strong. You guys are phenomenal. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
After a short break, we're going to be right back, and we're going to be giving away a Will Shields signed jersey, right?
Woo,
yes.
Yeah. So somebody's going to even be
happier
on Give to Lincoln Day. This is old school. We'll be right back.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Generation V.
Start summer off right with the Midwest's favorite for Vapor, Delta, and much more during the Generation V summer sale. Starts Memorial Weekend.
Generation V.
Save up to 50% off during the Generation V summer sale. Get a free bottle of Nick salts when you buy a pod system. Get 20% off all Honey Root Delta products and much more.
Generation V.
Now with 4 Lincoln locations. Stop in Memorial Weekend to take advantage of the Generation V summer sale.
E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
It's May, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride. Summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
This is former Husker and NFL veteran Jay Foreman. Some kids worry about making the team. Others worry about where they'll sleep at night. In Lincoln, over 3,000 kids are at risk of homelessness. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day on Wednesday, May 24th, your gift goes even further. Go to givelincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln's kids today.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today. Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's 12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back old school, doing it the new school way. Jay Foreman, Austin. We got AG, Amon Green in here. We have good Husker news. Husker baseball won today.
9-7 over Rutgers.
Over Rutgers. So they it's a surviving advance, but
because we got Carlos World Series right down the street.
Yeah, we got to make sure we make a good run.
Literally and figuratively.
So AG, before we get announce who's the winner of the Will Shields jersey, I want to ask you, obviously with your Wisconsin connection, I wanted to ask you about your thoughts on the Milwaukee Bucks 2 years after winning the championship with most likely when healthy, the most dominant player in the NBA, give or take or whatever, firing their coach. I want to know what your thoughts are, just as a former professional athlete, knowing how it goes when either a running back coach or the offensive coordinator is fired, bring somebody in. Do you think it's justified? And what do you think the outcome would be or will be in the future for the Bucks?
I say the outcome, don't really know. I mean, because obviously they got to search for a new coach and potentially other coaches.
Yeah.
But to see Butenhausen getting fired was actually a subtle surprise because, he was a championship winning coach.
Right.
And like you mentioned, just 2 years after the fact, it just shows you what we've been talking about. It's like, hey, you got to be doing this every year, all year. Winning games. You didn't advance to the East again.
Right.
So basically, it was probably because of the 2 years.
Right.
Not advancing into the Eastern Conference Finals with the roster they had.
Right.
Because players gotten better. I can't think of the guy's name now, but one of their younger players has been stepping up ever since they won. I can't think of his name, but
like Middleton.
Middleton.
Yeah.
It was Middleton. Middleton, and it was one more. What's the other one?
Holiday.
Drew Holiday. Yeah. So he's become an elite player since they won the championship, but that is because they win that. And, we've been in that situation. You gain confidence.
Right.
Having a season like that. You win the championship. Now you're like, okay, a lot of what I was already knowing about myself is now justified. And so he came out the next year, he was a guy they could depend on.
Different.
Along with Middleton, along with Giannis, and then the bench players. Connaughton coming off the bench.
My man Bobby Porter knocked you out, Bobby Porter.
Exactly. So he built that. Exactly. They built that confidence among the younger players and among players that most teams didn't respect.
Right.
And then you have that happening, especially in the NBA, you see that a lot. There's teams that players that are on the court, they come in, they the swing man, that most guys won't even look at when they're defending. They're looking at the LeBrons or the Stephen Currys.
Right.
They're not focused on this guy in the corner, and all of a sudden he gets the ball, boom, he's shooting your eyeballs out.
Right.
Because he's doing his role.
Right.
And so to have, I say from a coach, from winning the championship, developing his players, those players got better. So that's along with not only themselves internally, but as a coach too.
Right.
They stay consistent. They've been to the playoffs. They've been deep into the playoffs. So like I said, subtle surprise only because of where they've been. Even though they didn't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, they were right there again.
Yeah.
So as I say, it was probably the 2 years in a row. Ownership was like, we were so close again, but it's like, hey, you gotta realize this is sports.
Yeah. Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. And to have a dynasty at any pro level in any sport, I mean, we could go over in Europe with soccer to baseball, basketball here. It's hard.
Yeah.
And it's a phenomenon when you happen. What we had in 1995, that was a phenomenon. We're not going to get that much talent to be able to be on the same page at the same time doing what we did.
And stay healthy.
Right. And stay healthy on top of that. The Bulls from the 90s. Right. We could talk about any sport. We could talk the Dodgers in the 80s.
Right.
We could talk hockey of the Kings in the 80s and the 90s. It's all there. It lines up sometimes. It lines up, and then when it lines up right, you just gotta. Hopefully you on that team. Hopefully you ain't on the rest of the other teams in the league that gotta play.
Timing, right?
You're like, man, these boys is good.
Yeah,
they're killing us. So it's just a little subtle surprise.
Flipping over to the NFL before we announce the winner, Will Shields. So real quick, I want to know what your initial thoughts of Ron leaving Green Bay, getting traded.
Yeah,
and I also want to know how successful you think he'll be in New York.
I say, well, first, the second part, I want him to be super successful. I want him to do what he did in Green Bay, because I've been living up there for, it's in total 23 years, but since 2005, so that's 18 years with him on the roster. And then the last 10 years with him obviously being a leader and that guy that they listen to or sometimes listen to, but players listen to all the time. But administrators, owners, well, it's no owner, but the committee that helps with the team kind of listen to. But he's been talking about this for a long time. Like he's been wanting gone.
Right.
He's been wanting to leave. He's been hinting at it. It happened, it started with Jordy.
Yeah.
That was the camel. That was the string that broke the camel's back.
Then Cobb,
and then all these other players, and then having his list not executed on.
Right.
I want a tight end. You could bring in this guy. These guys are free agents. That never happened. So it was time coming, and I could see the stress. Like I didn't see him a whole lot. I would see him when sometimes they bring in the alumni to a game, and I'm on the sidelines. He'll come up to me, give me a hug. What's up, AG?
Right.
Real quick. But that was about it because he has to go play a game. So you could tell by watching his press conference after every game, even 2 years ago, it's like that stress on him, and now it's gone.
Right.
You can see him.
He got his haircut too.
He got his haircut. He's hanging out with Allen and his new teammates, going to the hockey game, to the basketball game, everything. And I think for us players, we don't sometimes get that.
Yeah.
You never get that. You don't get your demands answered very rarely in a professional league here in America. I don't even want to talk about, even think about overseas how it goes down.
Right.
I hope it goes better for him, if anything. But for that, it just it's good to see him doing what he's doing. I hope he's very successful, like I mentioned.
The winner of the Will Shields signed jersey is Doug Volkmer. Volkmer. Doug Volkmer. We have your number and email. He was the first donor. Walked his dog down here, donated. Doug
and Ranger.
Doug and Ranger. That's a big win right now. I did pick it honestly. So hey Doug, congratulations. We will be getting in contact with you. But again, big props to Cedars, the whole staff. Big props to everybody who's donated. And continue to donate. You have to midnight. We are out.
12 hours of coverage of Give to Lincoln Day from Cedars at 66th and Pioneers. Donate to Cedars anytime, all day at givetolincoln.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese